Shit, I forgot I popped something in the oven. Where the fuck is my glasses, man? Excuse me. Where there? She tripping, cuz. What's happening with Anisha? Oh, I'm all right. Just trying to get my wife home. I think she'll be out of there by tonight. I believe she'll be home. They're going to discharge her. This woman tripping, cuz. Thank you. I'll be back up there in a little bit. I'll be back up there in a little bit.
Gattery is bodily lifted off the ground and loaded into the back of a patrol car. She is laid down in the back
Well,
seat on her stomach. The deputies ordered a turn on phone. Once he
well, it wasn't a stroke. It wasn't a stroke, we don't think. And they want to check his, make sure it wasn't a seizure. But they seen some new blood, not a lot, in the same area where her brain was damaged. So that's why they kept her to monitor. They did a CT scan on her brain and seen something. So, but they gonna do an MRI to get a better look at it though. There's nothing to be sorry about, guy.
Why do I have to wait for payday? I show up for work every day.
Nothing to be sorry about. I'm just glad I got her there, so she could be checked out.
2 days early when I direct deposit, and I get fee-free overdraft that has my back. Plus, I can get paid when I say, up to $500.
Yeah, I think she'll be home
No interest,
by
no
tonight.
mandatory fees. Finally, I'm in control of my money. This is so
I
awesome.
saw her twice this morning.
Join the millions of members like us, banking fee-free at Chime.
I left. I would have stayed longer, but I left because she was acting a fool, so I left. I didn't want her to be all hyped up and, feisty and shit, so I left. I told them I'm going to come back after they do all the testing. The caseworker just called me, told me she there till 4. I told her, okay, I'll see you before you gone then. So I'm definitely getting back up there in a little bit.
Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Attention. If you have Medicaid and live in Nevada and need assistance with daily living, you can receive a 100% free service and get help in the comfort of your own home by a loved one. Call
Yeah, exactly.
Care now so you can receive daily help, preparing meals, bathing, doing laundry, shopping.
But that's what they told me when I took her in after that scan. They said they saw something they want to monitor.
And your caregiver
Hey, Krista.
instantly after their shift.
Oh, she tough as nails.
Call in the next 10 minutes to see if you qualify. The Freedom Care family will explain the process, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. Freedom Care is a
She tough as nails, y'all.
And has received over 5,000 five-star reviews. They've been helping families for years. This service is 100% free to you through Medicaid. So call right now and see how fast you can get started with Freedom Care.
Yeah, she wants to come home.
Hi, I'm Alex with Alex Buys Vegas Houses. If you're looking to
She was all mean wouldn't let me touch her. She said, "Don't touch me."
VegasHouses.com or call 725-725-ALEX.
She said, "Don't touch me." She's mad, cuz. So I told the nurse. I said, I'm going to just leave. I said, because I don't want her all upset and feisty. The nurse, she was just giggling because she heard me and my wife in there talking. Ah, she is something else, cuz. I'm telling you. Yeah. She was up in there going the fuck off, too. Y'all should have saw her, man. Oh, Lord. That's why, that's why I told the nurse, I said, I'm just going to go. I said, because I said, I don't want to keep her. I said, she only hyphy and feisty while I'm here. I say, she's demanding, you know. Yeah, I say she's demanding that I do this, do that, and I say she needs to. I say she need to let them run this last test so they know she's fine.
She runs across the sidewalk and into the parking lot.
And I say, because they ain't gonna discharge her unless they know she's fine. Especially if they see some new blood on that side of the brain. I mean, they want to make sure, let them make sure. You know what I mean? That it might have been something that just got trapped in there from the old one, or, they don't know. You see what I'm saying? They don't know. So, they don't think it was another stroke. Anyway, but they seen blood up in there when they did the scan. But they saying it wasn't a lot, but they seen something, is what they saying. You know what I mean? So they're going to do an MRI on her brain now to make sure they see everything they supposed to be seeing. Well, she mad, want to get out of there and all that. Arguing and fighting with me. Telling me, get me out now. Take me home, Like that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm telling her, get checked. Make sure you good. Yeah, Crystal. But she demanding I take her home. Hey, Nathan and Guile. My wife back in the hospital. Trying to get her home. And I've talked to the guy that's doing the test. He said it'd take him about a half hour to do it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, but I got some answers though on the main concern I was telling them about, and they definitely saw that going on. And then when he said, well, if you ain't doing this and that, and I said, well, and she ain't. He said, it definitely caused that. So, no more jiving with her, cuz. We got to put in the work, man. If she want to get on her feet, we got to put in the work. We can't be bullshitting about it, man. I can't be letting her boss me around and not let her do nothing. She got to do something, man. But like I told him, she been the boss the whole relationship. She been the boss. You understand me? I told my wife, you the boss of the family. You are. She used to get mad when I tell her that. No, I ain't. I said, but you are. I said, you are the boss, the main boss. And that's how I always treated my wife throughout our relationship. You know what I mean? Whatever her decision was, I didn't question it. If she said we should do blase, then we're going to do it. I'm not going to question it. That's just how I've been. I ain't lying. And she know that. She knows she can get her way with me. And all the while I had her here, I'll be trying to get her up. I'll be trying to get her to go out every day, but she don't want to do it. You know? Have to force her to shower and this type of stuff. I had to force her. I'm like, no, you. I'm like, no, you gonna shower today. So one day I was joking around with her. I said, you look musty. I said, you want to take a shower so you can smell good? She said, yeah, real fast. Yeah, right. So we got in the shower. And when I was getting her ready for the shower, she was telling me, let her know when she musty. She said, let me know when I'm musty. I said, what? Tell me when I'm musty. I said, oh, okay. Is what I told her. So now I know how to trick her for a shower. You know, I can give her a hug, like when I'm helping her use the restroom, and I'll be getting up close on her, I'll be smooching on her and shit. I could tell her, you look musty. You want to take a shower? She'll say, yeah, if I say that. If I say you musty, right? So I'm going to start saying that shit about 4 times a week to make her ass take one, cuz. Other than that, she won't. see, sometimes, you got to, it's a physical game, you know? You got to psych them out to get them to do it, so that, yeah, so I just find what works for me when I need to. I find things that work for me, that I could say to her or do that it can get her to do something. Yeah. So, I'm learning. It's new for both of us. No. I don't wish that on anyone. Nobody prepared themselves for a family member to go down with a stroke, heart attack, brain aneurysm, to where they need to be cared for. I mean, cared for. They need somebody to bathe them, feed them, talk to them. I mean, keep the bed clean. Keep them clean. Uh, helping her brush her teeth and gargle. I mean, washing her face, doing her hair. You know, the best I can with her nails and her feet. Trying to keep my wife up. That's all I do, bro. And try to keep this, house in order for her. I mean, it's nothing else for me to do but to tend to my wife. She needs me the most. Yeah, King. Right now, my wife needs me more than she ever had, bro. And I'ma fucking be here for her, cuz. I swear I am. I'm gonna do whatever fucking necessary for my wife, cuz. I mean, whatever necessary. That's a benefit to her. I'm doing it. Shit. I mean, man, shit, I hate to see her up in there, but at least she ain't got no damn breathing tube down her throat and, all this shit tied to her. She just in there. You know. She just in there. She ain't got the thing in her nose no more like y'all see in the pictures, That was down there in the ER section. When she got the ICU, she just in there. I mean, they monitoring her heart and her blood pressure, shit like that, but you know. And she wants to come home. But she arguing and fighting with me about the shit. She want to come home. But I'm telling her, let them check you the fuck out. Shit. I wish I'd get an MRI on my brain from my shit years ago so they could let me know, yeah, it's still good. Ain't nothing going on back there. I would love to have a scan on my shit. Because I got a stent and all that shit in my head back there. I don't know if it's coming loose and moved. I don't know. So, S-game. So if there was to scan my shit, they could tell me something. Oh no, your shit's still cool. They can let me know. If my coils came loose or something. I don't know. Cause I ain't getting looked at. And that had to be 2012. But I wish they can go take a look and tell me something. They might come back and say, oh man, them motherfuckers coming loose. We gotta fix them. That's why your neck be hurting. I don't know. You know what I mean? So if a motherfucker tell me, we won't do this, make sure it ain't this and it ain't that, and what they need to do ain't gonna kill me, they ain't gonna open me up, put me under, they just go put me in a little capsule, tube, scan me or whatever. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. If this gonna let us know that it ain't that, and that, if that's gonna tell us that, then yeah, let's do it. Let's go check it out. Well, bro. Just trying to relax now. Until I get back up here to that hospital to talk to that lady. You know what I mean? You in jail 2 weeks? I'm watching your Steve Wilco. Nigga said he went to jail with him. I thought he was going to think how many years to. He said, how long was you in jail? He said, 2 weeks. And she stopped taking phone calls in 2 weeks? Never was for you, brother. She never was for you, cuz. She stopped taking the calls in 2 weeks? Yeah. Yeah. Now you want a DNA test, so the baby might not be his baby something now. And this Steve Wilco thing right here.
Excuse me. And they confirm what man, Steve. I can't make this up. I can't make this up, bro.
That dude is country. He country as hell. Y'all hear him? I don't want to show y'all, but they're demonetized. And I'm trying to make the payday on this sucker. I'm about $19 away. Before YouTube had to pay me. But if my shit ain't monetized, it ain't gonna get nothing. Like I say, it's bad enough you don't get shit on these ads like people think we do. Ads don't pay shit. And but I did get a couple of gifts though since I got back up and running. And them gifts add up the revenue. But you don't get much of those neither. Yeah, I seen Steve get mad at motherfuckers to kick him out of his show. Because he realized they was really guilty of something, especially if it got something to do with a kid. If they didn't pass the test about something about a kid, oh shit, Steve go off on that. Get the fuck out my show. He said, get the fuck off my show. I don't want you, Steve. You notice that? If this is a show about a kid being harmed, let's say the kid went to the doctor and had broken bones, bruises, shit like that, and y'all bring all the parties there involved, and he put your ass on that polygraph. Ooh. If you failed that test, if they asked you, have you done anything to harm or and if you fail any of that on a child, Steve go the fuck off. He'll start cussing you the fuck out. telling you to get the fuck off his show. Uh, he even regret have to fly your ass back for this show if he flew you out there. If it was up to him, he'll leave your ass wherever his show is stranded. Or he wouldn't even fly you back, but he know he can't do that, so that's why he say, fuck it, I'm gonna cuss these motherfuckers out before they leave. That's how he do it. So I'm gonna cuss this motherfucker out before he leaves here. You know what I mean? Because he know they still gotta pay to get your ass back. And especially when he say, I hope they come and arrest your ass. You know. Something, you know. I like Steve. Uh, he started out security with Jerry Springer. And the crowd took a liking to him. Because he used to muscle motherfuckers up off the stage when they was acting a fool. Steve was getting them out of there on Jerry Springer. And the audience started yelling, Steve, Steve, Steve. After he rustled them fools off the stage, next thing you know, the audience be like, Steve, Steve, Steve. That's how he got known, cuz. They're like, damn, people like you. Why don't you do your own show and shit like that? So, you know, you scratch each other back, you know. Jerry gave Maxim, you do your own shit, get your own show. Yeah. He was a retired Cincinnati PD police officer. Cincinnati, I think. Steve. And that's where Jerry Springer's show was at, Cincinnati, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how Steve blew up on Jerry Springer. He just got popular with the audience, cuz everybody likes Steve. And like I was saying, when shit got out of hand, and we had plenty of shit go out of hand on Jerry Springer. I done seen fights, clothes, wigs flying, shoes, drawers, bras. I mean, that's the only reason why I used to watch Jerry Springer. Because you knew it was going to be a couple of cat fights, brawls, all kinds of shit on Springer. And Steve was the one getting them up out of there. He'd get them separated and out of there. That was Steve. And then it was a few times where he really roughed a motherfucker up to get him out there. I mean, that manhandle, he had to get him out of there. And when he was doing that, the audience got excited. He used to yell his name. Steve, Steve, Steve. I mean, they used to stop the show for Steve. They do that for like 3-4 minutes before they finally get them to calm down and get the show back on. Jerry Springer wasn't the governor, he was the mayor. I think Jerry Springer was a former mayor of Cincinnati, but Steve was a police officer. The bald-head dude, Steve Wilkos, he was police. Former police officer, he was doing security on Jerry Springer. But Jerry Springer wasn't no governor. I think he was former mayor. Yeah, Jerry Springer. Then he did one-term mayor in Cincinnati. And Steve was a retired Cincinnati police officer that was doing security on the show. I don't think no governor would have been doing those shows like Jerry Springer was doing. See, the governor was up there, bro. We didn't have governors become presidents. Governors. Back in the old days, you had to be a senator or something to get in there. But plenty of governors made it to president. It ain't a nice Springer. Yeah, I like you, Jerry Springer. Now, he had some crazy ass episodes, but that shit was really going on. Man, you'd be surprised who always helping. That's what I try to tell people, even in the civil rights struggle, man. Yeah, white folks who was helping black people. Or they don't tell you about them. Yeah, white people who was lynched, homes burnt down and all that shit, because they was helping black people. And they want to erase all that. Because they said that slavery wasn't a crime. They said it wasn't a crime. Because it was legal. Well, legal for them. But ask them slaves or their descendants. But they felt like that was evil, legal to do. So, if slavery wasn't a crime and it wasn't legal, then that thing that took place in Germany and in Europe with them people and them other people, then that wasn't no crime either. That was legal. That's how I see it. If you go there with it, I'm trying not to get myself banned. But if you're smart enough, you know what I'm talking about. Just fired another top-notch black guy in the army. I seen the Senate questioning Headset about it. Racist motherfuckers, cuz I swear they are. They try to cover that shit up with Christianity. Aren't they Christians or something? Especially when you talk that talk. That God is on your side and not your enemies. And, God ain't on no side of unnecessary violence by anybody. God ain't gonna support one over the other on some unfucking necessary violence. You know what I mean? Y'all seen Donald Trump take some of the world's richest motherfucking men to China with him so he could try and bribe a few motherfuckers. It's all about business. Them motherfuckers need China. They know that. They know that. So can't no other country and our people on this earth that can manufacture and produce goods for the world of million type of sources, millions. They make millions of things. You know why? Because there's billions of them. So therefore, they can do it more efficient, faster, and cheaper than any other nation and or people on this earth. So that's why rich people, people of greed, greedy motherfuckers, rely on China to make things cheap enough for them that they can sell it so high and profit so easily for it. Like when all these tires and all that shit popped off. And trying to expose game, they say. All them motherfuckers get the same shit that everybody else get. They trying to produce and make for people. T-shirt, drawers, jeans, you name it. They use the same exact material. Now what they said was Louis Vuitton or Gucci or whoever may ask for a different design. Certain type of pattern. See, it may take a little more addition, but yet it's still a cheap cost. Same material. Now, some business in China have contracts where they ask that you don't print made in China on the product, nor put tags on this and that, saying made in China. So they get them, and they put their own motherfucking tag on it. Sew it on them shirts and shit. Man, and they get a t-shirt made for $1.75 because they brought thousands up. China knocked it down to $1.75 t-shirt. You want $650,000 now? Okay. Just $1.75 t-shirt. Boom. They make them, send them to them. They put their tag on it. Might put an over design over the shirt they had made. Y'all bought them for $55, $75, $90. But they got a certain name on the tag. That shit was made in China, too. So yeah, motherfuckers running around Louis Vuitton, Gucci, acting all like they all better than the next motherfucker. But all the while, y'all was getting suckered. Y'all was getting suckered into paying more for the same product everybody else was getting ready with Fruit and Loom, Hanes, or what the fuck else it was. Cold game, huh? I was glad we're trying to put that out there. I said, I knew it. I knew we could. All right, man, I'm coming off of here. Shit, I need to get a few bucks. I ain't got enough. One of y'all to call me this morning before he went to work. Got a 10 sack and a cigar, but 10 ain't gonna cut. I need to come up with a few more bucks. So we'll see. I gotta get my ass back up to this hospital. Let me check on my wife. Hopefully she done calm down some by now. All right, y'all stay blessed. Nice chatting with y'all.